The Los Angeles Lakers rotation has just experienced a seismic shift that few could have predicted just 3 months ago, and what's happening right now with one of our key defensive pieces could fundamentally alter the trajectory of this championship-level season. Welcome back to Universe Los Angeles Lakers News, your go-to destination for breaking updates, exclusive insights, and in-depth coverage of everything happening with our purple and gold. Today, I'm diving into a roster situation that's been quietly evolving over the past few weeks. A scenario involving a player who was supposed to anchor our defensive identity this season, along with strategic possibilities that could completely reshape our frontcourt rotation. Before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because what I'm about to break down has major implications for how we approach the rest of the season and, ultimately, our championship pursuit. There's something unfolding at the Lakers' El Segundo practice facility that every fan needs to understand in full context before we get into the explosive details about a player whose future with the Lakers is suddenly in question. When training camp kicked off back in October, optimism was high across the organization. The roster around LeBron James and Anthony Davis looked deeper. We had addressed perimeter shooting gaps, and versatile defenders were in place to execute the defensive schemes head coach J.J. Redick envisioned. One player in particular generated notable buzz during preseason and early camp sessions. Coming off previous injury struggles, he arrived fully healthy for the first time in years, and the coaching staff was excited about the role he could play. His defensive versatility was considered crucial for success against elite offensive teams, and there was a genuine belief he could carve out significant minutes in Redick's rotation. Redick himself highlighted this player's defensive impact during preseason, emphasizing how integral he would be to the Lakers' strategy on that end of the floor. Fast forward nearly 20 games into the 2025-26 campaign, and the landscape has shifted dramatically. The Lakers sit at 14-4, second in the Western Conference, a start that exceeds expectations. LeBron and AD are performing at an elite level. Role players are contributing consistently, and the team is executing effectively on both ends of the court. But under the surface of this early season success, a roster dilemma has quietly been developing, one that could force the Lakers into some difficult decisions in the weeks ahead. That player is Jared Vanderbilt, whose situation has become one of the most intriguing questions facing the Lakers today. After entering the season with high expectations and optimism about his role, Vanderbilt has fallen out of the rotation over the past several games. He's missed 4 straight contests, and his declining production when active raises serious questions about his long-term place on this team and whether the situation is salvageable or if alternative solutions need exploration. Here's the context in numbers. Across 14 appearances this season, Vanderbilt is averaging just 4.6 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 1 steal per game while shooting 44% from the field. These figures mark a clear drop-off from what the coaching staff anticipated, and more importantly, they represent a reduced impact that makes it challenging to justify steady minutes in a tight rotation where every possession counts. When you're playing alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis, every player needs to maximize their minutes and contribute meaningfully. Vanderbilt simply hasn't reached that level so far. That said, his defensive versatility hasn't disappeared. Vanderbilt still flashes the lateral quickness to stay in front of guards, the length and instincts to disrupt passing lanes, and the physicality to battle bigger players in the post. These are valuable traits in today's NBA, where switching and adaptability are critical to defensive success. But defense alone isn't enough if you can't provide floor spacing, crash the offensive glass, or make hustle plays that keep possessions alive and energize teammates. Here's where things get complicated from both a roster and financial perspective. Vanderbilt is earning $11.5 million this season, with 3 years remaining on his deal. That contract structure makes him one of the tougher players to move around the league. It's not exorbitant, but combined with his injury history, limited offense, and recent absence from the rotation, trade interest is likely to be minimal unless the Lakers package additional assets. This creates a strategic puzzle for Rob Pelinka and the front office. Do you hold on to Vanderbilt and hope he regains form, potentially as a playoff rotation piece where defensive versatility is premium? Or do you explore trades proactively, leveraging this moment to address other roster needs and potentially upgrade positions where depth or talent gaps exist. Both paths have merit, and the decision hinges on how the front office values Vanderbilt long-term versus the potential assets they could acquire. Let's examine 3 realistic trade scenarios, each designed to address genuine Lakers needs while providing value to receiving teams. Understanding these possibilities gives a clearer picture of how LA might navigate this situation. The first involves the Orlando Magic, a team developing a young core but seeking defensive depth. In this scenario, the Lakers would send Jared Vanderbilt, Dalton Knecht, and a 2032 second-round pick to Orlando for Jonathan Isaac. I know Dalton Knecht is a promising young shooter, but sometimes acquiring a proven defensive presence outweighs retaining young talent. Isaac is a 7-footer with elite mobility, shot-blocking instincts, rim protection, and perimeter deterrence, a potential game-changer alongside Anthony Davis. For Orlando, Vanderbilt provides bench defensive depth, Knecht adds shooting potential, and the draft pick gives future flexibility. The second scenario targets the Indiana Pacers for Obi Toppin. LA would package Vanderbilt, Knecht, and the same 2032 second-round pick. Toppin's athleticism, rim finishing, and developing defensive versatility could complement LeBron and AD, while also providing scoring depth. Indiana may hesitate, but the combination of Vanderbilt, Knecht, and draft capital could make it worth consideration. The third scenario brings back Malik Monk in a homecoming. Sending Vanderbilt, Knecht, Aratiro, and a 2032 second-round pick to Sacramento could reunite the Lakers with a scorer and floor spacer who's averaging 12.7 points and shooting 41.6% from 3. Monk provides instant offense, secondary playmaking, and floor spacing critical in playoff situations. Sacramento is reportedly open to deals outside Meek Clifford and Keegan Murray, which could make this package appealing. Now the big question, should the Lakers actually move Vanderbilt right now? At $11.5 million with 3 years left, his contract is tough to shift, and injury concerns plus limited offensive output complicate trade prospects. Yet the team sits at 14-4. LeBron and AD are dominant, role players are contributing, and chemistry is strong. Moves that disrupt this rhythm could be risky. Vanderbilt's playoff value also matters. Regular season rotations are deep, but playoffs compress to 7 or 8 players. A versatile defender like him could be critical in specific matchups. Conversely, if front office evaluations suggest Vanderbilt won't impact the playoff rotation while Isaac, Toppin, or Monk offer more, a proactive trade could strengthen championship odds. Regardless of the outcome, the Lakers are in a strong position. Whether Vanderbilt finds a role or is moved for roster upgrades, I trust Pelinka and the front office will make the choice that maximizes our title chances. Which would you prefer? Isaac's defense, Toppin's athleticism, or Monk's shooting? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear how Lakers fans are weighing this situation. Bottom line, the Vanderbilt issue is a complication, not a crisis. It's a potential opportunity to improve the roster if the right deal emerges, but it doesn't require immediate action. If you want every Lakers roster development, trade rumor, and strategic insight, make sure you're subscribed to Universe Los Angeles Lakers News. I'll bring breaking updates, in-depth analysis, and insider perspectives on every move affecting our championship window. Hit like, share with every Lakers fan you know, and keep notifications on. I'll be back with more exclusive coverage as we chase Banner 18.